Hey everybody, welcome to the Black White Liberal. It's election night. It's so exciting. We have been having numbers come in for about an hour, and polls closed at 7. A lot of the reporting so far has been, we've heard a lot from Florida. They have a lot of uh, votes that have come in. I am trying to, just give me a second here. So right now, it is really close. That's the thing about it. With everything that's gone on, right now things are really, really close. We are looking at Florida. I think about 65 or 70% of their votes are coming in. It's definitely a back and forth between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. So I think we're going to be up for maybe a late night. The last time, 2016, I just couldn't take it, went to sleep, woke up and saw Donald Trump's face on the screen and thought I was going to fall out. So hopefully we'll have a different outcome today. I know that they've already called Indiana for Trump. I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly how many have come in, how many of the votes have come in. Um, right now it's looking like Ohio, Donald Trump is ahead by about 15 points, but we've only got about a third of the votes in. So we're going to see how this goes. And I'm wondering for some of you all, how are you handling if Trump wins? Are you one of these people who, you're going to cut off all your friends and, um, oh, hold on a second, you guys. Just give me a second here. But I'm wondering if you all are, some of these people who said that they're going to cut off their friends because they can't take it, or are you going to be willing to look forward towards reconciliation? I know a lot of people aren't feeling reconciliation right now. I've seen people talk about it, and people don't want to hear it. People are ready to, I'll say Democrats are ready to win and basically run up the scoreboard on the Republicans. Let's see where we're at. They are going through each individual county on here. I'll tell you for myself, I know some people who are Republicans, some who are reluctant to vote for Donald Trump right now, and some who are quite frankly enthusiastic. And I, none of these people, for the most part, surprised me. I knew who they were. They're people that I've known for years, decades, and I don't know, just, I already knew who they were. So I guess I feel like if I already had them in my life before, this shouldn't make a difference now. They're the same people. They were already very right, conservative, leaning. I wouldn't necessarily say racist, but, things that don't affect them, they don't worry about. That's who they are. And as long as I think there are more of us than there are of them in terms of um, people who, uh, I guess, how am I trying to say it? Maybe money is more important than the treatment of people. The economy is more important than the treatment of people. Hopefully, there's just more of us than them. I'm not going to try to change them. I've known them for a long time, so I don't believe in that. Oh my God, it may really be 4 more years of Donald Trump. Oh my God, just the thought of it makes me exhausted. But it's also going to be great for the Black White Liberal channel. So definitely we'll have plenty to talk about. He has been a very entertaining president. Um, I'm going to be honest, like going back to the first debate, I watched the whole debate. I really did. And I watched it because it was sad to say it was entertaining. And so I watched it. And when I watched the Kamala Harris debate with Vice President Pence, oh my God, it was a snoozer. I didn't even watch the whole thing. After Pence said that she was trying to undermine people's belief in government, I was done. That was probably like 20 minutes in. So I couldn't even keep going with it. But it wasn't it wasn't entertaining. So Not that I need to be entertained. I'm just being honest about part of the draw for Donald Trump. And that's not necessarily the draw for me, but when I watched the debate, it was embarrassing, just like reality TV is embarrassing. If you watch, Love and Hip Hop or The Real Housewives or, you know, just any of the shows on Bravo or a lot of these things, they're entertaining and embarrassing. And that debate was the same thing, which we should expect from a reality TV president. So, hey, welcome. I see we have a viewer. I definitely welcome you to come and get in the chat if you have anything that you want to say to me. Otherwise, we can just hang out. So, I appreciate you for coming on and joining the live. In the last couple of days, we've had some interesting things happen in terms of Donald Trump came to Georgia. Um, he went down there, so it's kind of, they say it's really in play. And there's also some people that are running for Senate down there that it's going to be really exciting. So there's definitely some East Coast. Oh, I think I have too much stuff going on. Definitely some East Coast places that are um, normally no brainers that are. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Let's see here. Somebody has a meme that says, election night is like doing a group project. I know I did my part, but I'm afraid you all are going to screw it up. Yeah, that's definitely. You know what? It's frustrating because I feel like Republicans will say, oh, you all never got over it. And it's not like, maybe it would seem like that, but I don't feel like it's that we never got over it. First of all, the media is always talking about 2016 like we lost. But the behavior of the president and the flagrancy of his uh, poor choices, or abuse of power, that's a better word, the flagrancy of his abuse of power outrages people and wants him gone. I'd say a lot of times if he loses this election, he lost the election. Like Joe Biden, I don't know how much he really beat him. If Trump loses, which I hope he does lose, um, if he loses, he beat himself. How was the voting for you all today? Some people said it wasn't bad. Some people didn't want to wait in the line. It was just kind of crazy. Or they had to come back and try another time because it was packed. So I know one polling place that I'm aware of, they were expecting 800, and as of this morning, it was going pretty slow. So hopefully that means that people early voted and not that people aren't voting at all. Well, they did say that Joe Biden is outperforming, and I think pretty much didn't we kind of expect that after last time and people were so upset and didn't realize how crucial it was for them to actually come out and vote and we weren't just, blowing hot air. So that's good to know that people are coming out. You know why I didn't really press? Because I just felt like you should have come out last time. I mean, I'm grateful that they are, and if we can make a change, that's terrific. But so much has been done in the last 4 years that I don't know. I mean, it's great that you came out, but I'm just not. Um, there's a certain part about it that doesn't really move me because I just kind of feel like, the damage is done. You can't put that tube back in the toothpaste, right? You can't do it. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm. In Florida, Joe Biden is struggling because he's struggling with Latino voters in Florida in particular. But we might see him benefiting from non-white voters coming out for him in places like Georgia, in places like Ohio, in places like North Carolina as well. So we'll see what happens, but it's not going to be necessarily an even story all across the map because of these different populations acting in different ways.
And you said non-white voters. I think the other thing that's interesting that we're seeing is that white voters, which, either college educated or not, you kind of think of more historically for Donald Trump, it seems to be changing, at least in the exit polls that we're seeing so far.
Well,
So they're saying Biden is doing worse with Latino voters, but better with suburban voters. I would love if I had anybody who could speak to that because I don't really know what's going on with the Latino vote. Certainly, people are allowed to vote for who they want. I'm not saying they can't, but maybe what's driving that. It's kind of interesting. So we're all waiting on Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. We have a projection. West Virginia going for Donald Trump, so that's 5 more votes. So these are projected wins. It's amazing they still do that after the fiasco of 2016 and the fiasco of 2000, but okay. So right now, as it stands, we got Trump at 42 and Biden at 30. Key race alert. Major key alert. These are really close. It's close. They're talking about how Trump is losing to Biden in North Carolina right now. Ohio. Oh man, he's kind of getting walloped in Ohio. I mean, it's only half of the polls, but Biden's ahead by 10%. Wow. 18 votes there. Pennsylvania, oh, again. Oh, okay, whew, only 6%. I won't say whew, but I was just like, wow, he's getting mollywopped by like 19 points, but only 6% of the people are reporting, so that doesn't mean as much. Texas. Biden is ahead in Texas by 250,000 votes, and about half of the precincts are in. It's amazing what's actually in play. These are places I've never even paid attention to before. So these places are starting to report. It's interesting. Texas. Huh. I don't want to say about Texas. I've just been disappointed in the behavior that I've seen out there. You know, you can live somewhere conservative and people don't have to be ridiculous and crazy acting and act like they have no idea of history and the things that how their behavior repeats patterns that we've seen in the past that are not positive. I keep my eye on Florida. I'm gonna skip that. I find that right now I'm seeing older, people that are in the media or prestige are kind of like, we can after this we can get beyond it, we can reconcile, we can save the country. And I sometimes wonder, I'm like, well, you're so old. Like, are you just not concerned about it? I don't know. I had this thought when I read an article by somebody who I really respect, and he was kind of saying something similar, and those people were like, no, we're not seeing that. And I just thought, well, maybe because he's really old, he's just like, hopefully if it does go to hell in a handbasket, no matter who's elected, but if it goes badly, hopefully I won't have a whole lot more years. I know that's terrible to think, but I'm just going to be honest with y'all, that's what I thought. Because I was like, how can you just think that it's going to go back to normal? Or I would say that was the basic response, like, that's not happening. We ain't going back to normal. We're not going to go back to being friends with people. Oh, let me let John.
this vote is early vote. How much of it is today vote?
We do have that sense. As John was just showing you, what you see here now is a Joe Biden lead. He's got 2 million votes to Donald Trump's 1.7 million. This is 66% of the estimated vote that is in North Carolina right now. But Wolf, I want to show you what percentage of that is early vote. 97% of the current vote that you're looking at in North Carolina is early vote. That's benefiting Joe Biden. In fact, in the big Democratic counties, in Charlotte, in Wake County, and in Raleigh area, it's almost all early vote, those big Democratic counties. And we expect the share of the early vote to go down to 75% of the total vote at the end of the night. That could benefit Donald Trump as more election day vote comes in. So it's just the note of caution that right now, the vast majority of the vote that's in North Carolina is early vote, and that is benefiting Joe Biden at the moment. So there's still more Election Day vote to be counted. In Ohio, I think what we see here is that Joe Biden's also benefiting from early vote there, but there's more early vote to come in there. So, take a look here. We have 49% of the total estimated vote in. 29% of it right now is early vote. We think that's going to climb, okay? The 53.
So basically what's going on is they are talking about the early vote and how a lot of these precincts that are reporting and saying maybe we counted 65% of our vote, a lot of these are early votes that they've counted. So maybe they have counted 40% of their votes, but 80% of those are early votes. So they're saying, it's going to be a long night basically, and we can't really get even knowing that. Why are you calling states? I don't know. I'm not sure what the procedure is to call a state already, but knowing there was such a push for early voting, it just seems interesting that they would do that. Because Donald Trump loses, he lost this on his own. He lost with his. Oh, I was trying to think of his greatest hits that we could talk about tonight, but certainly COVID. I mean, the most recent thing. I think we're 225,000 dead. It may be more. I checked that total a few days ago. I have to be honest. When they first said that was a possibility, 250,000 people, I remember thinking, no way that that's going to happen. Like, that's a lot of people. And here we are, and it's 250,000 people in approximately 8 months. Not even a full year. And we don't have a cure. The question is, what's going to happen after this? Is there going to be a mask mandate? Are people going to revolt? I don't know why I don't have any wine. Let me go get some. Hey, I'm back. Sorry. I was just listening to what they were saying, and if you missed it, one of the things they were saying is that Mitch McConnell has won Kentucky again, which, honestly, if people voted for him, if people, if they're in line with what he's doing, then it's not a surprise because he has enabled Trump to do a lot that Trump supporters want. So he was reelected, so we still have to deal with Mitch McConnell. I need to see what's going on with Lindsey Graham. Let me look at this. What's going on with that race? So let's look at some of these. While they're still talking and they're talking about the presidential race, let's look at some of these local races and see what's going on here. Another contested another election that they wanted to watch, and I've heard a lot about, is Raphael Warnock. So let's see how he's doing right now. He's actually running for state senate in Georgia. So I'm looking right now, and this is a special election. There are a lot of people running in this one, I believe. Let me take a look. Let's see. Are all of these people running for this seat? Even the lowest person has 3,500 votes. Wow. And there's probably on here, I don't know how many people are on here, but right now the people that the most, and let's see, this is 2020 U.S. special election. It's looking like Raphael Warnock and Kelly Loeffler are tied for the top place, but let me just take a look again. Kelly Loeffler is the current Senate holder, and she was actually appointed, I think, by Trump or by the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp. She was appointed after Johnny Isakson retired, because he retired during the year. Trying to look, it looks like Loeffler is in the lead. She has 28.9%. Raphael has 28.1%. So that's a very close race, which is what they expected. So we're getting what we expected here. Let me see. Are there any other races like that you all may be interested in? Let's see. Doug Jones, who is the senator in Alabama, he ran against the guy a couple of years ago who all the stories started coming out about how he was, following girls at the mall, young girls, and this was an older man, and this was right in the middle of Me Too. He still had Donald Trump support, but Doug Collins was able to narrowly defeat him. This is in Alabama. And so now he's running against Tommy Tuberville. And honestly, at the time, Doug Jones was kind of a long shot, but as things started coming out with the whole Me Too and the accusations, he ended up losing. The opponent did. So now Doug Jones is the incumbent. He's a Democrat, and they have a lot of precincts that still need to report. I think Alabama is about 7%, but right now Doug is lagging behind Tommy by about 17 points. So, ugh. Some of the other places are not in yet. Martha McSally out in Arizona, obviously not done. David Perdue versus John Ossoff in Atlanta. Looks like right now David has a pretty strong lead. David, famous for calling her Kamala Mala Mala, which I didn't feel like was racist. He was just kind of being an asshole. But he is ahead. Joni Ernst, she's also up for re-election, I believe in Iowa, and it looks like she is in the lead right now. Or no, they're not reporting yet. I do want to ask you guys. My question is, would you? So some people say, "Oh, would I live somewhere more liberal?" If you're in a liberal group, if you're a liberal person, probably so. You probably say, yeah, I prefer to be around people who are like-minded. But a question of the day, I'm going to put this in the quote. Would you live somewhere more conservative if the amenities were top-notch? I've seen people that live in really great areas just be concerned about how things are ticking up because of everything right now. If you live somewhere where they have Trump parades or something along those lines, would you move? I was talking to a friend the other day, and he said, that he would want people to stay because he says, their purpose is to kind of make you uncomfortable enough that you won't continue living there anymore. So are you letting them win when you say, I gotta go somewhere and be around more of my own people? Are you letting them win? Are you shorting yourself if you have a place that has top amenities? Let's say you have children, you are able to get a well-paying job with the skill set that you have. Would you live somewhere like that if it meant that you had access to better things? Or would you say, no, I'd rather live somewhere more liberal, and even if we don't have the best facilities or amenities, work on those things? So I wonder what would be the answer for that. I think for me, it really depends on, I think the people and if I feel comfortable. I've lived somewhere where people are definitely conservative, where you would most likely see a Trump train. A few of them. I grew up somewhere where you definitely saw people have Confederate flags on their trucks when, in high school. Almost like, it's weird for me because it's like watching these Trump trains and these people. I'm like, I thought to myself today, am I less intimidated by this because they have a Trump flag on their cars? After you grow up, places where people ride around with rebel flags on their car or Confederate flags on their car, I don't know. I just kind of feel like I wouldn't let them run me off of my spot. I grew up somewhere and there weren't a lot of minorities, and well, there were, but not like other places. It was pretty conservative, pretty black and white, like the name. It was pretty black and white, and I didn't really like it growing up, but I could live somewhere like that again as long as they had the amenities and the things I like, because I made friends with people. I had a good life growing up. It was just that I knew that I wanted to experience something different. So it wasn't even that it was so terrible that I just felt like I had to do something completely different with my life. But when I left, I did want to move somewhere and kind of get a different experience if I could. And so I've done that for several years, and Going back to somewhere conservative, I don't think would be that hard, even now. And I see people in different Facebook groups just really having a hard time with people who don't agree with them, having a hard time with partners and spouses that don't agree with them. And it's sad because I just feel like don't let these people run you off of your spot in terms of where you live. Don't let them ruin your relationship. I am um, told from people that I'm friends with and people that are in my area that I'm fairly liberal. I don't feel liberal. I feel like a moderate. Um, but I still am friends with these people. I still get along with these people. I'm not one of the ones that's gone through and done a purge on my Facebook list. Like some of them, I mean, I know, but it's not like they're having an impact on my life except for me being irritated about some of their posts. And I think about it and I said they're probably equally as irritated by my posts. Um, Even though I feel like I'm in the right, but they are still irritated. So I feel like I could do it. So just wondering what y'all are doing. As a black person, I felt kind of guilty for still dealing with people sometimes that feel differently than I do. But at the end of the day, like I said earlier, I've known who these people were. It didn't take Trump becoming president for me to get their full thoughts. Like I know who they are, and I wouldn't say that they are racist per se, but I think that they just don't care about those kind of issues and they're indifferent. Which I would feel not so much that you're a racist, because I feel like racist is actively hating someone, actively having an issue with someone. I just think that they're kind of callous. And that's hurtful, but there's a lot of callous people. I can be callous about issues that don't relate to me. I'm a moderate. I'm open minded enough to be able to kind of hear both sides and make choices, and sometimes come down on the side of things that people don't like. I mean, this summer we've had a lot of unrest over the shootings and the police presence, and I take issue with some of that. There are definitely some cases that I felt were clearly unjustified. But there are other cases that I was just like, I don't know if I want to add that to the BLM hashtag. I mean, we can, but I'm definitely not going to get involved on that case. I just don't know enough, or I could see where the cop was coming from. People may not like that. You ain't got to like it. I don't care. You ain't got to agree with me on everything. Like I said, I got friends I don't agree with. I got Republican friends. And it's just right now, people are so dug in. And I really think after this, there's stuff about Donald Trump that I feel like was almost positive because he just galvanized us he galvanized the Democratic Party and a lot of Republicans with his behavior and got us motivated, got us, getting involved, running for office, just doing more. He might have been the person that we needed to kind of just bring us back together because we're so sick of the partisanship. I think I really noticed in 2000, and certainly by 2004, just how divided we were. And it's just gotten worse and worse. And I think that this presidency and his attempts to continue to divide and undermine just has so many people on both sides just so freaking tired that that it's gonna hopefully leave us in a better place and ready to work together and leave these other people on the fringe on both sides. I'm like, man, these right wing fringe people, these left wing fringe people, they both can have it. Like both of y'all are a problem. And I think there's many more of us that are in the middle. And just because I'm a Democrat doesn't mean anything goes with me. I'm a Democrat, but maybe I go to church, or I'm a Democrat and I'm fiscally conservative. Oh, 8 projections. I'm gonna be quiet and put this on.
The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, CNN can project that he will go on for another term. Same with Arkansas's Tom Cotton, keeps that seat going on for another term there. And in South Dakota, CNN can project that Mike Rounds will go back to Washington for a second term. Tennessee, this is an open seat. Lamar Alexander is retiring. CNN can project that Bill Hagerty will win a first term there. In West Virginia, Shelley Moore Capito is going on for another term, according to CNN projections. And in Delaware, CNN is projecting that Chris Coons is going to go back to Washington. Representing that state, it was Joe Biden's old seat. New Hampshire, CNN is projecting Jeanne Shaheen is keeping her seat as well. And same goes for New Jersey. Cory Booker is going back to Washington representing New Jersey. Now,
we told you early on the Biden big lead early was based on early votes. We know Democrats disproportionately voted early for COVID protection reasons. Democrats encouraged them to do so. And then Trump, all his rallies, what was the goal? Impressive, overwhelming election day turnout. That's what the president wanted. Is he getting it? We're up to 80%. We shall see.
I want to show you this board here. These are the states that Joe Biden is leading in that Donald Trump won 4 years ago. So in North Carolina, as you were just discussing with John, he's got a 1.77 percentage point lead over Donald Trump. In Ohio, he's just under a 2 percentage point lead over Donald Trump. And in Wisconsin, he's got just over a 2 percentage point lead over Donald Trump. 3 states.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Hey, you about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Hey, you about to lose your job.
Jake?
Thanks, David. We're looking at the race having tightened up quite a bit from what some pundits were projecting. And right now, it really does look like President Trump has narrowed or even broken even in Florida and North Carolina and Georgia. So really, it is all coming down to what we said months and months ago, the blue wall of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, the states that Hillary Clinton thought she had in the bag that Donald Trump tore down.
So it looks like Donald Trump has come back around on Georgia, Florida, and another state. It's very close.
state that's going to come in later, which is Arizona.
Hey, we're going to take a break from CNN because I just need a break from them. And we're going to go to MSNBC and see what they're talking about. So Steve Kornacki is at their wall. So let's see what's up.
Will come in that is expected to favor Trump. How dramatically does that favor Trump? How much does that get him back in here? That's the question in a place like Mahoning. But it really varies by county in Ohio right now. You know, some have a lot more the same day, some have a lot more the mail. So that's what we're trying to sort out here. But again, 13,000, that's Biden's advantage. And we'll just check in and see where the number is in North Carolina right now. It's sitting at about 80,000 in North Carolina.
These races are too close to call. This is truly just a referendum on the soul of America. I'm not shocked, but I'm just like, wow. Just wow. Can I be honest? I came here because I was just like, CNN was about to put me to sleep. Like I said, I watched Donald Trump and he's more entertaining. So I want an entertaining news channel. And MSNBC, I really like them. Rachel Maddow gets on my nerves. She's one of the people that's almost like too smart for her own good. But Nicole Wallace, really like her. Her top is awful tonight. That shirt is terrible. Ugh, she looks like somebody's grandma. But I like what they're talking about so far. The Latinos are coming out for Trump. Latinos for Trump. Okay, we see you, Proud Boys, because they turning up and out.
That Senate flip is the one change we have seen since 2016. Other than that, we're looking at static results from the last 4 years, which just feels remarkable given what has happened over the last 4 years. Let's bring into the conversation now Robert Gibbs, Obama administration.
Say it,
Obama
girl. Yeah, it's
veteran.
amazing.
Robert, what are you seeing tonight? What do you?
Okay, Rachel is asking. She's asking questions. So I don't really feel like listening to that. But I will say, I appreciate the one viewer I've had this whole time. I don't know who you are. I wish you would just say what's up in the chat so I knew that you were here and that you are a real person. I am new to this whole thing, so I appreciate you all for hanging in there. Oh, I had two people. Oh, 6:30. Still early. Um, yeah, I'm probably going to sign off for a little bit. I may come back probably for a brief reaction video. I thought I'd be able to stay on here, but it's just a little boring. What happened to the days when Diane Sawyer was drunk on TV doing the election? That year was crazy. And I wish that I could find something like that again, because I damn sure be watching it, because right now I'm bored out of my mind. Not bored, but I mean, just I may have to come back later on when more things are coming in and it's closer and we watch Down to the Wire, or like I said, maybe a reaction video. I am learning. This is a new process. I'm learning how to do these things. Oh, I had two viewers probably about 20 minutes ago. Okay. So yeah, this is all new. It looks like I don't have anybody now. I guess you just dropped off. Whoever that person was. It's all good. It is early in the night. That's why I think I'm gonna go to bed. He was just saying that it's really early in the night. I'm not gonna go to bed. I'm not that old. But I am gonna go ahead and take a break, and I will catch up with you all either towards the end when we have a better idea of what's going on. I'll do that, or I'll come back with a reaction video. So y'all take care. It's Black White Liberal. Peace.